Thank you for being here. As it is March and we're transitioning this offering to be donation-based, I have put in the chat section some donation online tip jar options for you, and I'll also put that in the YouTube description. Let me know if you have any questions, or for folks who rolled over from previous months or years, just let me know if you ever need the prices adjusted. I'm happy to do that for you. All right, let's find a comfortable seat. As always, that can be whatever your body is asking for right now. I will offer that perhaps you explore Virasana, Hero's Pose. We haven't done that in a while together. As a reminder, I do like to put the block between my ankles. And then you might also like to put the folded blanket under your seat. So this gives you a little bit of lift, a little bit less intensity on the knees. You might even stack yourself a little higher. You could put a firm pillow under your bottom. Yes, perfect. Thanks. I will put the YouTube channel at the end of class for us. Thanks. All right, so arriving in your seat, giving yourself a moment here to breathe deeply and notice what's here. Sometimes as we let our bodies settle down, we might notice the mind really stirring up and just noticing. Now you might switch your awareness to notice your next breath in and out. And the quote that I'll share today is, we begin a new month together, a month of practice. And for many of us, our yoga practice is part of our healing experience. Young Pueblo teaches, your healing lifts up the ocean of existence. When you heal, we all heal. Your healing lifts up the ocean of existence. When you heal, we all heal. If you'd like to chant Om, I invite you to draw your hands together in front of your heart, sitting tall. With dignity, we lift the crown of the head, lengthening the spine. The chant of Om represents our experience of existence here. Inhale deeply for Om. Release your hands. Staying for about 3 slow, full, mindful breaths. Option here to place your hands over your chest, maybe even interlacing your fingers, placing the hands over the heart center. Vajra Pradama Mudra, if you interlace the hands. This mudra can help give us a sense of confidence, self-worth. Staying for another cycle of breath, notice how the body expands as you inhale and contracts as you exhale. With fingers interlaced, flip the palms away from you and slowly push the hands away, stretching the connective tissue of your fingers, hands, forearms. You might slide your shoulder blades away from each other, maybe even dropping your chin towards your chest, engaging your abdominal muscles, rounding the spine back. And on an inhale, lengthen the spine, reach your arms up overhead. You can release your fingers if this is too much for the shoulders. One more breath, get as long as you can through your side body. Then release your hands, and on your next exhale, take a gentle twist over to your left. Stay here for a breath or two. If you feel like maybe you pushed it too far, you can softly unwind a bit, going easy on yourself, really respecting your body through ahimsa, the idea of non-harm. As you're ready, interlace your hands. Inhale, return to neutral, reach up, push the palms towards the sky, lengthening your body. And on an exhale, release the fingers, slowly twist to the other side, lowering your arms, staying here for a few breaths. Notice if you're holding the jaw tight, you might be able to soften. And on an inhale, come back to center. Interlace the hands one more time. Let's switch the interlace, doing our non-dominant way, and then reach up. So we're trying to switch things up, even in the smallest ways, if nothing else, as a reminder of all these subconscious preferences that we carry and disrupting them when we can. One more full inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, release your hands and fold forward in a way that feels good to you, transitioning towards Balasana, child's pose, with the arms overhead. Keep walking the fingertips forward, engaging your abdominal muscles to help sink your hips back. Stretch your spine in these two opposing directions. Fingertips walking forward stretches the spine towards the top, engaging your abdominal muscles, pressing your hips back any amount engages and draws the spine towards the bottom of your mat. One more breath in this opposing energy. And then rise up through tabletop. If you have any props under your legs, let's scoot those out of the way. I encourage blocks towards the top of the mat. Anytime, you're welcome to put the blanket under your knees. Fingers spread comfortably wide. Try to anchor into your fingertips and the inner line of your hands. On an inhale, drop your belly, shoulder blades slide together, look up. And on an exhale, push the ground away, rounding your spine. Move with your breath through cow and cat. Keep in mind, this is your personal practice. Doesn't matter what it looks like, really tap into how it feels. Maybe here you'd be better served to add a little more movement, perhaps sinking your hips back towards your heels, passing through Balasana, child's pose on your exhales, and then on the inhales, drawing yourself back to cow. Or maybe there's something else that your body is asking for. About 5 more breaths here for you to explore. And on your next exhale, we'll all send our hips back towards Balasana, child's pose. No stress if the hips don't meet the heels. Work with your body where it is. Staying like this, or in the spirit of our Twisty Tuesdays, you can reach your right hand like you're threading the needle, and you can stay in this way, needle threaded, or you can reach your right hand towards the outer edge of your left foot, exploring a deeper twist. Maybe looking under your left armpit, maybe walking the left fingertips up overhead on the mat, or reaching to the sky, or reaching around behind you, taking a bind. No right or wrong way here. We're just exploring twisting the spine, increasing the suppleness, increasing the lubricating synovial joint fluid. And breathing deeply, unwind, passing through neutral, and then taking it to the other side, either threading the needle or reaching the left hand back towards the outer right leg. Let yourself settle in wherever you're going. Option to be looking up under your right armpit. You might walk your fingertips overhead on the mat. You can even see then perhaps how the right armpit area stretches, latissimus dorsi, or reaching up to the sky or around behind your back. Explore how fully you can breathe. When we take twists, we're really compressing our internal organs and limiting our ability to take a full inhale. So notice how it feels. And as you're ready, unwind, returning to child's pose for a moment, and then rising back up through tabletop. Tuck your toes. Inhale deeply, and on your exhale, lift the hips towards the sky, finding the triangle shape of Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So anytime I incorporate Sanskrit, the language that gave birth to yoga, we can take that as a nod to the cultural heritage of this yoga practice. Another full breath here. Then bend your knees generously. Walk your hands back towards your feet about halfway. Reach your right hand towards the outer left leg again, taking a little twist in this short downward facing dog. Push the ground away with your left hand. Reach the left hip towards the sky. And on your next exhale, high. Release your right hand to the earth, left hand to the outer right leg. Revolving our short Adho Mukha Svanasana the other direction while Toby makes his appearance. Another breath. See if you can push the ground away a little more with the right hand. Lift the right hip back a little more. And then unwind. Walk your hands forward. Come into plank pose. Stay for a breath or two. Push the ground away. You can always lower your knees. Maybe you keep the knees lifted just one more cycle. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog, and then inhale, look forward. Exhale, step your feet to the top of the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. On your next inhale, rise all the way up, long spine, reaching to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward. Soft bend in your knees. If you have blocks, bring them right in front of your toes. Bend your right knee generously as you straighten your left leg. Plant your right hand on the ground or block. Bring your left hand to your low back as you rotate your torso, opening up to the side. If available, you might reach your left hand to the sky, maybe looking up towards your thumb. If your hand is on a block, you might explore bringing the fingertips to the mat, maybe even bringing the flat palm to the mat. One more full, slow breath. And on an exhale, bend your left knee as you untwist, returning to Uttanasana, forward fold. Keeping the left leg bent, plant the left hand, straighten the right leg, bring your right hand to your sacrum, open your torso to the right. You can stay just like this, or perhaps you reach your right hand to the sky. Looking up towards the right thumb is an option. We're still breathing deeply. Perhaps you explore bringing your left fingertips to the ground if they were on a block. Maybe even planting your palm on the earth. Imagine dragging your right hip back in space, another full breath. And on your exhale, slowly unwind, returning to Uttanasana, forward fold. You could shake and nod your head. And on an inhale, press into your feet, rise up all the way, reaching to the sky. With the arms up overhead, keep breathing as you explore lifting the heels off of the mat any amount. See if you can lengthen your low back, engage your abdominal muscles, lift your heart, lift the crown of your head. And on an exhale, lower your heels and your arms. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands and step your right foot way back in space. Stay for a breath in this high runner's lunge. You can look and see that your left knee is over your left ankle, so we're helping protect the knee. And on your exhale, lower your right knee, untuck the toes. You can stay like this or take a gentle twist to your left. Left hand coming to the left thigh, planting the right hand in a way that works for you. You might reach your left hand back in space. Some people prefer to reach the left hand up. Breathe deeply. Notice that the left knee is still over the left ankle. Sometimes it splays out towards the wide edge of the mat. And feel free to explore if that feels good. Just know what you're doing or notice what you're doing. Staying like this, or tuck the right toes and lift the right leg off of the earth. Another option is to peel the right hand off of the ground or block, coming up to a revolved crescent lunge. Core muscles engaged, lengthen your spine. Another breath or two, knowing that you can always return to what feels right. If you explored and it feels a little too much, just go back. One more option here, you could lower the left hand to the back of the right leg and reach the right arm up. From wherever you've gone, on an exhale, unwind. Return to our plank pose, stepping the left foot back in space. Hands can be on block or earth. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Also an option to take child's pose. 3 breaths. In downward facing dog, a gentle bend in the knees is encouraged, helping us lengthen our spine while being kind to our hamstrings. On an inhale, look forward between your hands. And on an exhale, step or swing your right foot to the top of the mat. Pausing here in high runner's lunge. Right knee is over the right ankle. And as you're ready, lower the left knee, untucking the toes. Option to plant the left hand, bringing the right hand to the right thigh and open the torso towards the right, taking a twist. Breathing deeply, you might reach your right hand back in space. Maybe you like to reach it up to the sky. Notice if the right leg has splayed out towards the right side. I encourage you to intentionally hug it in towards the midline, keeping some adduction, drawing the legs together. Option here to tuck your left toes and lift your left knee off of the earth. Keep breathing deeply as options to explore. Maybe you lift your left hand, rising up into a revolved crescent lunge. Breathing deeply. Option to lower your right hand to the back of your left leg and reach your left arm up to the sky. All just options. On your next exhale, unwind, plant your hands, step yourself back to our friend plank pose. Inhale, And exhale, soft bend in the knees, send your hips high, downward facing dog or child's pose. 3 breaths. From downward facing dog, inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or swing the left foot to the top of the mat. Step your right foot out and up a bit, setting up like we're going into warrior 1. And then straighten your left leg, transitioning into Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. This is where I really like blocks under my shoulders. The right toes are pointed towards the top right corner of your mat. Anchor into the pinky side edge of your right foot, the big toe root of your left foot. You could imagine dragging the left hip back in space. That helps us keep our hips neutral. If the legs have to have a bend in them, that's perfectly fine. Respect your body where it is. Option here to revolve this pyramid, keeping the right hand planted, bringing the left hand to your low back, opening your torso to the left. Engage your abdominal muscles. Maybe you reach your left hand to the sky. Depending on how this feels in your body today, you might lower the block. Notice your breath. When you come to an exhale, soften your left knee, unwind, plant both hands, step yourself into downward facing dog, just passing through. When you come to an exhale, step or swing the right foot to the top of the mat, step the left foot out and up, setting up for Parsvottanasana on the other side. Straightening the right leg, remembering a little bend in the knee is always fine. Shift the right hip back in space. Maybe you bring your block to the highest setting. Lengthen your spine. Right hand to your low back or sacrum. Open your torso towards the right. Maybe you lift your right hand to the sky. And as we settle in here, notice that you're still breathing deeply. And if you're unable to breathe, then I'd encourage you to unwind a little bit. Take it a little bit more gently. Notice your foundation. See if we can root into the right big toe joint and the pinky side edge of your left foot. Imagine dragging your right hip back in space. See if you can make your right side a little longer. Follow your breath. On your next exhale, soften the right knee as you unwind. Step your left foot up to meet the right. Hang heavy in Uttanasana. On an inhale, rise up all the way. Long spine is the safest way for the spine to get there. Reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees generously. Sink your hips all the way to the earth. Roll onto your spine. As you arrive, hug your right knee in towards your chest. Send your left leg long. Take a breath or two here. And then when you're ready, keeping the left hand on top of your right leg, open your right arm out wide. Inhale, and with an exhale, guide the right leg over to the left, taking a spinal twist. Maybe you send your right leg long, just exploring that. You could imagine dropping your right hip away from your right shoulder, long torso, helping us breathe deeply even in twists. Maybe you look over your right shoulder. When you're ready, return to neutral. Send your right leg long and hug your left leg in towards your chest for a breath or two. Right hand on top of the left leg, open your left arm out wide. Breathe in. And when you're ready, exhale, bring the left leg over to the right, taking a spinal twist. You might explore sending the left leg long. You might imagine dropping the left hip away from your head so the torso stays long and doesn't get scrunched up. And of course, you can look over the left shoulder if you like. Enjoy another full breath here. And when it feels right to you, return to neutral. If you'd like, hug both knees into your chest, Apanasana. Aponic energy is the grounding energy. It's the energy that runs down our back body, whereas pranic energy lifts on the front body. So this shape can feel really calming for some of us. And whenever you're ready, send your legs and arms long, trusting that time in Shavasana is extremely valuable. Resting in this way gives our body, energetic and physical, as well as our spiritual aspects, time to assimilate the benefits of the practice. You might notice your experience here. If the mind gets busy as the body gets still, you're not alone. It's normal. See if you can notice without judging. Deepen your breath, savoring this final slow moment of practice. You can invite small movement back into your body, wiggling fingers and toes. You might take a full body stretch. And as you're ready, return to an easy seat. If it's comfortable here, you could keep your eyes closed as you move. As you return to your easy seat, I'll remind us of our young Pueblo quote, "Your healing lifts up the ocean of existence. When you heal, we all heal." Time taking care of ourselves is not selfish, it is selfless when we look at it that way. If you'd like, draw your hands together in front of your heart, chanting the sacred vibration of Om. Inhale deeply. Thank you to all the teachers. Thank you to all the students. Thank you for being here. And Jania, I just remembered, a great place to go is createmindfulmoments.com. I've got the YouTube channel, all the donation information, everything is available on my website. Thanks.